Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin between a rock and a hard place. If you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So we've done these videos before, in fact, and if you've watched the channel long enough, you'll know that what I'm referring to is the fact that the price of Bitcoin is between the 20-day SMA and the 21-day EMA. So the orange line is the 20-day SMA, and then the blue line is the 21-day EMA. And the reason we're talking about this is because we've sort of seen this happen many times before, sort of a corridor, if you will, where it's fairly bullish, right? It seems like we're bullish, like Bitcoin's bullish, but we're like just on the cusp of breaking out, right? We're so close. The price of Bitcoin is so close to making a move to the upside, but it's not quite there. So it's bullish in the sense that we're above the 21-day EMA, which is what a lot of people like to use. But at the same time, it's also slightly not as bullish as we would want to be because we're still below the 20-day SMA. So getting above the 20-day SMA can often be a fairly bullish sign in the short term if we can maintain it. For instance, we popped above it here after going sideways in it for a few days, and then we started to put in new highs. We're back in this region. We've been in it for about 7 days now, and we are still within this corridor. If you look at where these are, the 20-day SMA is at 50,194, and the 21-day EMA is at 48,262. So as long as we stay in that region over the next few days, obviously the moving averages will change with time, but as long as we sort of just move sideways here, then we will probably stay within these moving averages, at least for the next few days, as long as they take to react to where the current prices are. So keep an eye on this because we've been here before. We were in this area in early February, and then we broke out above it, and things picked up relatively quickly. Once we broke above it, which again, we're not saying we're going to break above it, but if we were to break above it, you can see over here, it took approximately a week to put in a new all-time high. So if we were to break above it, this would be something to keep an eye on. Now, what I've said before is that altcoins, they can rally at the current Bitcoin prices. I think moving above the 20-day and not going to an all-time high would be very, very bullish for altcoins. But I've also said too that I don't think it's necessarily a prerequisite for Bitcoin to be above the 20-day for altcoins to rally. We even saw today Ethereum had a nice rally despite the fact that Bitcoin is still below 50K and it's below the 20-day SMA. Now, if we go back even further, we also had a similar thing happen back over here. It wasn't quite as useful in terms of we did go slightly below it, just like we did here. But you can also see a period where we dropped below the 20-day SMA, and then we're sort of in this between a rock and a hard place for a few days until we finally broke out and continued on. So we've seen this happen many times before, and now we're just sort of waiting to see if we're going to break to the upside again. And if we do, things can get moving relatively quickly. Or if, on the other hand, we break back down and go down to some lower moving averages like the 50-day moving average. We, in fact, did go there last month, or 2 months ago, I should say, the end of January. So we held the 20-day for a while. We broke below it. We were between these two moving averages. We went all the way down to the 50-day, held it as support, came back up sideways, and then we popped through. So far, we haven't even been to the 50-day moving average since this impressive move happened. To give you an update on where that is, it's currently at 42,869. So it is actually approaching our local bottom here, which corresponds to almost about $43,000. So you can see we are coming in on that as well. So that would obviously be the closest downside target I would look at if we break down below. Okay, now remember, no one knows what's going to happen in the short term, but I think what's more important ultimately is how you react to the market, what you do, be patient. Obviously, we have a long ways to go this market cycle. There's going to be corrections along the way, but we can at least somewhat dubiously speculate on what might happen in the short term if, in fact, prior patterns were to play out. If you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Definitely hit that subscribe button. Let's go for 200,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. Remember, we have the the altcoin season sale. You can find the link to that in the description below. We're going to end that sale in about 7 to 8 days. So if you want to lock in the lower rate, get access to the weekly reports and videos, the Telegram alerts channel, the risk dashboard, the trading view indicators, and more, check it out, lock in the lower rate. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know in the comments where you think Bitcoin is headed in the short term, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.